Today we're going to be starting with a little story. So once upon a time, maybe a few years back when Josh was in grade school, I introduced him to the Harry Potter books. Obviously it was a huge hit, but we did start listening to the first Harry Potter book, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, together on audiobook. Interestingly enough though, this is the copy that we have, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which we had gotten while we were still living in Canada. And the audiobook was this version, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. For the most part, things went really smoothly until we started realizing that the audiobook was a little bit different than our copy of the Philosopher's Stone. At the time, I had not realized there were different editions, so this was a major shock. So as some of you are aware, I have actually been rereading through the Harry Potter books this fall, and when I read the Philosopher's Stone, which I've just finished, I started taking notes and researching the differences between this and the American edition, which is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is, of course, the UK edition of Harry Potter. It was originally published by Bloomsbury Publishing. However, when Harry Potter was released in the US, it was, of course, published by Scholastic, who changed the title, obviously, to the Sorcerer's Stone. So because Harry Potter is very near and dear to my heart, I had to do a very thorough investigation. So now I'd like to share some examples of some of the differences that I found in my research. I have my handy notebook here with all my notes, so let's get going. So the big thing that I noticed, of course, was substitutes. Mainly these were word substitutes. Some examples of these included Merry Christmas in American edition, or Happy Christmas in the Philosopher edition. American edition, sweater, jumper, English muffin, crumpet, unused versus disused, meal versus tea, 2 weeks, whereas Philosopher had fortnight, and mail instead of post. Further example of substitution within the text, starting with the Philosopher's Stone. Down in the stands, Dean Thomas was yelling, "Send him off, ref, red card." "This isn't football, Dean," Ron reminded him. "You can't send people off in Quidditch, and what is a red card?" Down in the stands, Dean Thomas was yelling, "Send him off, ref, red card." "What are you talking about, Dean?" said Ron. "Red card," Dean yelled furiously. "In soccer you get shown the red card if you're out of the game." "But this isn't soccer, Dean," Ron reminded him. One of the other major differences between reading these two books that you will know is the spellings. Obviously, they're different between the American and British edition. I won't talk about these too much because unless you're reading the book, it's not really that interesting to talk about, but a few of the ones that I noticed, of course, were the different spellings between Halloween, grey, favorite, again with the U in the British, and the Z and S, S being substituted for Z in words like realize, practice, etc. Getting into the more minor differences that are a little bit easier to overlook, starting with hyphens. So in Philosopher's Stone there are a lot of hyphenated words that I didn't even realize were supposed to be hyphenated. Blood curdling, ear splitting is another one, and nonstop. Dropping of prepositions and articles. If I had to create a list, this is probably something that they changed the most, but I include it with more of the minor details because unless you're really paying attention, I don't think it's something you really pay attention to, if that makes sense. An example of the dropped prepositions and articles. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. There was uproar. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. There was an uproar. Philosopher, Professor McGonagall had come around the week before. Sorcerer, Professor McGonagall had come around the week before. Another minor difference was the use of only and the words fewer and less. Only. The Philosopher's Stone. Chapter 12, Mirror of Erised. This left only one parcel. Sorcerer's Stone. This only left one parcel. Few and less was also in this chapter. Philosopher's Stone. No less than 12 towering Christmas trees. Sorcerer's Stone. No fewer than 12 towering Christmas trees. And finally, the subject pronoun agreement. The Philosopher's Stone, chapter 16, Through the Trapdoor. "You want to be more careful," said Snape. "Hanging around like this, people will think you're up to something, and Gryffindor really can't afford to lose any more points, can they?" Sorcerer's Stone. "You want to be more careful," said Snape. "Hanging around like this, people will think you're up to something, and Gryffindor really can't afford to lose any more points, can it?" Of course, it was the difference between it and they. In conclusion, do these changes really change the story? Do they affect the story? I really don't think so. For me, personally, I do not really appreciate that they changed when they edited for an American audience and changed the title to Sorcerer's Stone. For me, these little details are what give the book just a little something extra, just a little extra spice to something that is just already fantastic. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and please let me know what you thought of this video. And let me know what you think about these differences or any others that you find or things that I may have left out. I obviously did not get everything. There was quite a bit. It's just something I found kind of interesting. Thanks for watching again, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye!